about LeBron James on the recruitment role?
Well, this is nothing new. Players have been recruiting one another since the beginning of time to come play with them. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler, as I've said from the beginning, I always felt like this would be his only season with the Sixers. I feel like he's going to end up in a market, New York or Los Angeles, either team in either market. For Kawhi Leonard, I feel like this. You're LeBron James. You're recruiting me to come play with you while I'm still in the playoffs and I'm trying to get my team to the NBA Finals. So you're distracting me. So he ain't going to play with them. Okay. For the other dominoes, Kyrie, KD. It's crazy that we just anticipate KD's going to leave. Mm-hmm. Kyrie, too. He's in a good situation. Clay ain't going nowhere. Kemba shouldn't be going nowhere. I think all of those dominoes have yet to be determined because any of those guys that move, especially KD and Kyrie, I feel like they're going to make sure that somebody else is coming with them.
Yep.
And so you can't necessarily determine that yet until the season plays out. And for KD, this is almost becoming his worst nightmare. He already was accused of jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh, so now we're going worst nightmare again? He already clapped back, and sorry for saying that.
In a different way. Because he already was accused of jumping on the bandwagon. Mm-hmm. He shut everybody up by leading them to 2 championships and winning Finals MVP.
Them. It was not a question who's going to be the Finals MVP.
This year, the Warriors, I said this, became KD's team.
They were, and they are.
Draymond Green made all of the sacrifices. He wasn't all NBA. He didn't make All-Star. He only averaged 8 points this year. He took a step back. Steph Curry took a step back. So now we're back talking about KD as the best player in the game. Mm-hmm. Then he gets hurt. And when he gets hurt, you can tell he hears the chatter about whether the Warriors are better without him or whether the offense works better without him. You know why? We can look at Instagram and tell. So now, if we proceed and the Golden State Warriors win the championship without him, it's going to further that narrative. They lose the championship without him, it's going to give him a chance to say, I told y'all. They didn't win it before I got here is why I came. They didn't win it without me while I'm here. So to me, it's harder to determine what his next move is going to be because those dynamics have not played out yet.
I think it's interesting that LeBron James is already actively talking to people like Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? And it's getting out there, too. Because it's one thing if he does it on the slide, but now it's getting out there because then it puts him in a position to maybe fail at recruiting players. And, you know, he manages his persona. He manages them. He controls the narrative so well that it's interesting that if he puts himself on wax, saying, I'm going after this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, none of them come, that's an indictment.
I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
So it's not doom and gloom for the Lakers.
No.
They're going to be better than people anticipate. Frank Vogel's a really good coach. Jason Kidd's going to be a terrific associate head coach. We know about their young assets. They may even get Anthony Davis. But my question to you is, my childhood idol, Magic Johnson, did a lot of talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. Mm-hmm. Do you think that helped or hurt the recruitment of free agents this offseason?
Hurt the recruitment of free agents, but not to the point that I think people are taking it, but that definitely did not help. It was one thing when you were like, you know what? We've got LeBron on the court. We've got Magic in the front office. And if you have those two people sitting across the table from you at dinner, that can be a very convincing pitch. But now when you've got Rob Pelinka and LeBron James sitting across from you at dinner, less convincing. So I do think it hurt them what he did.
Do you think he was trying to sabotage their situation and or their free agency, talking about his love for them, yet he went on to talk about everything that's wrong with them?
I don't think he was sabotaging the situation. I think that he wanted to clear his own name because I think it did publicly look kind of bad the way he went out. And then you have LeBron on HBO talking about he never called me. So I think that there was some question marks about how he moved. So that he said, this is why I moved the way I did.
And LeBron learned a valuable lesson that I learned 40 years ago. You're an iconic player, LeBron. You're larger than life. But you know who you ain't larger than? Magic.
Exactly.
And I don't have any apologies
and you
for walking
remember
away.
First take, it wasn't 2 minutes in when he started mentioning all the money that he makes from other stuff. It wasn't 2 minutes in.